everybody? It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Today we have a special guest on the line. He goes by the name of David Walker. Now, if you don't know who David Walker is, he is the majority owner of Positivity Water. Last year, actually, for my birthday, my wife actually bought me shares in a part of the company, and it was actually David Walker's company. He owns majority shares. So talking to David Walker, who's in the beverage, I would say, business, and so many people, so many minorities ask how to get in this business. There's billions of dollars made every year from beverages, whether it's water, whether it's soda, whether it's pop, whether it's juice, and that's just a lane that minorities are not in. It's, I would say, 98.9% white. And
you just make up that number, Envy. You can't just make up.
I did.
You can't do that. You can't make up fake numbers.
It sounded better.
Let's ask David, because David probably has.
Thanks for having me. First of all, Joe, I went out last night to a comedy club and saw Joe Claire, and he wanted to say that he just loved you guys and say what's up. I know you went to a performance of his, and he was very thankful and supportive, and support our Black comedians out there. You know, they've been out of work, and it was fun. I put a little extra tip on the waitress and things like that, just to get it's good to get people back and having fun and making jokes. So Joe says hi. Bottled water, $505 billion industry. And Blacks spend $810 million of that, and minorities represent about 33% of the bottled water market. But you were being generous by saying 98.9. It's like 99.9% non-Black. Okay, so I'm probably the 0.1%. So this is something that we've not been a part of. And I got into this because of my background as a corporate attorney. I've been practicing for 23 years. And I had a client that sold manufacturing equipment to bottled water companies. And I went to my first bottled water plant and I fell in love. And I liked the way the machines worked. I saw how it's just water. And if something breaks, people are going to get wet. And I thought, how do I get into this? And like anything else, when you move into a new market, you have to sort of be humble and start from the beginning. And they said, you have to start with brands. You have to establish brands and then be able to sell and see how water moves before you can build a plant. And that's what we did. We built a brand called Integrity, and now our brand Positivity, which you're a part of. What a great partner you are as well. And we've been building brands. But the backstory to all this is I've always been interested in manufacturing. And so since the first day I walked into that plant, I've been putting together a plan. I have an engineering degree from Michigan, go Blue. And so it doesn't intimidate me what's happening in the plant. And I started talking to the same engineers that introduced me. And I said, how do we build a smaller plant? Like not the big mega ones that you see, but a small plant for the Black community where we can maybe change the way people look at bottled water. And they said, well, you got to start with money. And so to that end, I'm just super excited today. We started and launched a fundraiser, equity crowdfunding fundraiser where you invest in a company. We launched it today, invest.starwalkerindustries.com. And we're already at $100,000 already from friends and family who have come in and said, hey, I'm in, Dave. I want to be part of this. I want to have a seat at the table. Black people are going to have a seat at the table with bottled water. And we're raising funds to build our own plant here in Atlanta. We have a couple of different twists on the plant, though, than what you traditionally see. Mm-hmm. So the big plants have a problem. The first problem is people aren't happy about them taking natural resources out of their state and shipping it otherwhere. You've seen that in California, in Florida, and Michigan. So they're not happy about that. They're not happy about the emissions that all these trucks put on the road to deliver bottled water all over the place. The plastic is a big problem. And then lastly, accessibility. So when, things happen in Houston and they happened in Flint, we have to rely on private companies to ship them bottled water. So I said, we gotta fix this. And the way we're going to fix it is build a closed loop bottled water plant here. So not only are we going to produce water, we're going to actually incentivize people to bring the bottle back by offering them a refund. 25 cents on our bigger bottles and 10 cents on our smaller bottles so that they can keep the plastic together. You see, plastic is recyclable, but certain plastics are more valuable than others. In bottled water, that plastic PET1 is very recyclable and it can be turned into another bottle again if you keep that plastic together. If you throw it into
hold on, how do you return it to? So do you return it to the supermarket and get your money? Like, where do you return it to get your 25 cents on the larger bottles? Like
Ultimately, you'll bring it back to our plant, but we have partners in between. They'll have drop-off points. Some people don't think 25 cents or 10 cents is a lot of money, so you might drop it in a drop-off point. And so maybe at a hotel or at a local restaurant or your local grocery stores, remember, this is a local plant. So this is not designed to ship water from Atlanta to New Orleans, unless it's a case of a natural disaster. It's really designed for, Southwest Atlanta, East Point, College Park. This is designed to keep in a local community. You've probably seen it on the island there. You have one brand of water that everybody uses because it's efficient. And then now we're going to add the recycling component to it.
Yeah, I have some of that water here. It's actually alkaline water also. And that's another question I have. What's the difference between all the types of waters? Like I see spring water, you see alkaline water. How do you know the pH, all of that? Like break that down because it's confusing to me.
You're not the only one that's confused by it. Essentially, the process of bottling water all comes through some machinery of some sort. And so it's just a matter of how much you can manipulate that water when you put it into a bottle. So for example, purified water, which is the most popular brand of water that you drink, that's what you see in your Deer Park, et cetera. Then you might say, okay, the water comes in through a municipal tap, right? And then they filter it through a process called reverse osmosis, and they put it into the bottle. That's purified. Spring is the same exact process, but they do a little less filtration, right? It's because it's an FDA-approved process. People don't know this, but the FDA approves all bottled water. And then lastly, you have alkaline, where you essentially take the water, you filter it, and then you add minerals to it to increase the pH level. So why does anybody want a high pH water? Well, people who are in health and fitness and battling illnesses, they want to raise the raise the pH level of their body. So your body has a certain pH level, and they're always trying to raise it because there's been some studies out there that people benefit from a higher pH bloodstream. Now, people should do their own research. We offer alkaline water at the highest pH of 9.5. So people who want that alkaline diet will eat alkaline foods and then say, okay, the water I'm going to drink is alkaline water. Now, our alkaline water is 9.5 pH, which is considered a high pH. You cannot find it in a natural environment. There are natural alkaline waters out there that can get you maybe to 8, 8.3. But if you want 9.5, you have to go out and essentially buy it from a distributor like ourselves. And then the key to it is, does it still taste like water, right? So you got this high 9.8, you're manipulating it, and like, man, you put all this pH in it, how does it taste? I mean, you taste it, it tastes great. And if you tap a high pH water and you drink it and you say it tastes like water, you did your job as a bottler.
So what is alkaline? Is alkaline good for kids? Can kids drink alkaline water?
I think that in terms of health, everybody knows this. Talk to your doctors, talk to the people around you, because it's different. Some people can have aspirin, or some people can have, different foods that you can't have with your body. So it's all based upon your individual chemistry of your body. Me, myself, I drink 3-4 bottles a day, and I've been doing it for 3 or 4 years. So for me, I enjoy it. My kids enjoy it. They enjoy it so much you can barely keep it around in the house. I do everything. I bottle it. I make the brand up. I do everything. Put it in my truck, bring it home. They can't even bring it inside the house. So, it's one of those things where it's a thankless job, but my kids certainly enjoy it. And they're a little bit of a water snobs, but that's okay. I mean, your dad's a bottled water mogul, right?
So how do you figure out price point?
Well, it just depends. So alkaline water is definitely on the higher side of water cost. It's a premium brand. So it's not, something you find on the everyday. That's why you see it at the top shelf. There are other brands out there as well. And so it depends on how far along in the distribution chain you are. If you're in the early stages, like I am, the price point is different, but as you get downstream, it goes up. So what I do as the bottler, and I'm at the top level, is I have distributors across the country that I ship truckloads to. So I sell bottled water by the truckload. Okay. And so think of it like the Nino Brown of bottled water. So I ship truckloads of water out to distributors who then distribute it down to retailers. And I'm happy to announce we got a new distribution deal in New York City. Preferred Beverage Distributors is now going to pick up Positivity Water, and they're out of, I think, Ridgewood, New York. So it's going to be awesome, and we should see Positivity on the streets in the next couple of weeks there.
Last question. How difficult is it to get water into these big retail businesses? Yee has a pressed juice, and she had to meet with so many people to get her juice in these places. But so like to get into Target or BJ's or Costco or Walmart or Stop and Shop or Kroger's, how difficult is that? Especially
listen, bottled water
money that a lot of these other businesses have.
Yeah, penetrating bottled water is a lot like the record industry, right? If you're a young artist and you're doing really well and you have a huge following, you set the terms. If you're a new person and you really don't have a huge following, then the record company sets the terms. No different in bottled water. If you're out in the brand and your customers go out and buy your brand and they say to their retailer, you got to have Positivity Water. How come you don't have it? They tell their distributor tell us, because we can actually say to every distributor across America, we have truckloads, but they're not going to sell it for you. They're like, I'm in the business of giving my customer what my customer wants. So there's a push-pull to the beverage industry that you have to push it out to distributors, have capacity, but you got to also want it on the street. So when people build something or a beverage and they say, okay, they go to a retailer, the retailer is going to say, talk to my distributor. And the distributor is going to say, how many can you give me? How many truckloads can you give me? That's where a lot of people fall short. They don't have the capacity to try to get to that level where the distributor can, on a consistent basis, order truckload after truckload.
Gotcha. All right. Now, if people want to get into what you guys are doing, possibly invest or even purchase Positivity Water, how can they find out more information about the brand and possibly get it even in their stores?
Yeah. Invest.starwalkerindustries.com is the website that'll drive you to the investment portal. It'll drive you to our home site. It's a bunch of links in there. You can watch past video leading up to this investment. It's $100 minimum investment to get in. It went live this morning. I can't stop smiling. My cheeks are burning. I'm just so happy that so many people have bought in, and my family and friends and our community is in behind this, because it's a bigger project. It's bigger than me, right? I mean, this is something that's going to take the community to do. And I like the fact that we're bringing it to people on the investment level of $100 minimum. I like the fact that Obama's Jobs Act in 2012 is now in fruition, where he set up this equity crowdfunding for people like myself to not go to the big VC firms, which I used to represent and I've negotiated for years, and try to sit in back rooms where people make real wealth at early stages. This is an opportunity now, especially with the consciousness of how we have to do things ourselves, right? If you want to get something done now, you don't have to do it yourself, but to be able to do it at an investment point of $100 is just amazing. And to imagine that you get $100,000 already off a bunch of people giving $100, it just floods my heart with emotion that this is something that's turning into something very, very real. So invest.starwalkerindustries.com.
Right. And what he's trying to do is also create jobs for people. So if you think about it, beverage facility, drivers, everybody working in the thing, we're trying to create jobs for more minorities. And thank you so much. And thank you for allowing my wife to invest in the company early on. It's really great. We do so much for the community, giving back. And I mean, people love it. So thank you so much, bro.
Oh, no, thank you. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, to my beautiful wife. And I'll see you guys shortly. But thanks for having me on today. You guys have been awesome. And keep doing what you're doing, man. We're all watching and listening.
All right. Thank you so much. That's David Walker, Positivity Water. And you can follow him on Instagram as well, at Positivity Water. And when we come back, we got the positive notice, The Breakfast Club. Good morning.